What is up, guys? My name is BobaTalks and welcome to a brand new video on the interwebs. And today's video is, if you haven't seen the title already, which you probably have, it is on The Flash Season 4. And today I'm talking about a whole round of news that has come out the past week or so. I'm just sort of going to sum it all up in this video and give you my thoughts and maybe inform you if you haven't already heard it. So today we're talking about what Team Flash have already said about Season 4 and how it's going to start, how their characters are going to sort of initially progress in the first couple of episodes from what we saw 6 months ago in Season 3. Well, 6 months ago in the timeline of, Season 3 to Season 4. We also get to learn a teeny bit more about what the Thinker has planned for The Flash. There's also a rumor out of the Speed Force that there might not be any more speedster villains. And lastly, I'll discuss a little bit about a better look at the Flash suit and maybe a possible look at a new Harrison Wells. Alright everyone, so DC All Access spoke to Grant Gustin and Candice Patton and a few others about The Flash Season 4 and how it might initially pick up, or how it will initially pick up. And they basically initially went over what we already know, how it picks up 6 months later, and how, Team Flash is trying to protect the city from metahumans. And this is Candice Patton talking at this point, but she primarily went on to say about how she has to take up the mantle, and she's kind of behind the console of what Caitlin and Cisco used to be doing in the first 3 seasons, but with Joe West, Kid Flash, and Vibe out on the streets doing their best to protect Central City from all the metahumans. Now, what Grant Gustin had to say about Barry Allen being away in those 6 months is quite a bit more interesting. So he goes on to say how 6 months has passed, but for Barry it hasn't exactly been 6 months, because in the Speed Force, the way he explains it, time is kind of non-linear, so he's actually been experiencing his life from start to finish, like infinity over, the way he puts it. So over and over and over and over again, he's been living his life from start to finish. That kind of sounds a bit like a Speed Force prison to me. I mean, if you think about it, is and it isn't. What we learned at the end of Season 3, his mother, the Speed Force wormhole alien Nora Allen, said that he won't be basically in hell, but it kind of is through what he's been through. I mean, I know it's not he's living the worst moment of his life over and over again, but I feel like he technically is, because if he's living his life from start to finish, and his life consisted of losing his mother, his father got sent to jail, his father got freaking killed, and a bunch of all the other stuff that he's been through, just that kind of sounds like a Speed Force prison to me. So goddamn you, Nora Allen, Speed Force wormhole alien, you lying little Speed Force wormhole alien, you. But anyway, the point of what Grant Gustin is trying to say, through being in the Speed Force in 6 months, but to him, he's been living his life from start to finish over and over and over again. He's kind of had an awakening. And what I think he means by this awakening is, even though, yes, it kind of sucks to live your life over and over again when you've lived a lot of tragedy, and either way, it'll kind of suck to live your life over and over again, infinity times over. But what I think he means by this awakening as a person is that the thing about living your life over and over again in those 6 months, but for him it's an eternity, he would have had a lot of time to focus on what he's done wrong as the Flash, for example, Flashpoint, going back and just doing things, acting upon emotion rather than what's best for everyone. So, for example, at the end of Season 2, where he thought, fuck it, I'm just going to go run back in time and save my mum, not really thinking about how that would rewrite time itself. This is what I mean. I think when Grant Gustin said he's had an awakening as a person, that is exactly what he means. He's had time to focus on everything that he can improve on when he comes out of the Speed Force. But he does go on to say how he's a bit scrambled when he comes out, so it's going to be interesting to see what he means by that. I guess, living your life over and over and over again, you're just a bit like, hey, what? I'm out now. I'm a bit, Now, in terms of the Flash versus the Thinker, this is what we learned. And to be honest, I wouldn't have expected anything different. Apparently, he has a grand plan. He kind of has this opinion about humanity and what is wrong with it. And obviously, in his mind, he has to take out the Flash in order to act or sort of carry that plan out. So let's talk about that for a minute. If you guys don't know who the Thinker is, he's the big bad of Season 4, and he's this extremely intelligent villain. And his primary goal in Season 4 is, with what he sees in humanity as flaws, he's going to try and make it flawless, I guess, or perfect it. And obviously this isn't going to be something that is actually really good, but even in his mind it is good. Barry Allen, the Flash, and Team Flash won't let that happen. But the cool thing about it is they said it's not going to be so much like fisticuffs, there's not going to be so much, screw you Thinker, punch you, so on and so forth. They said it's going to be more mind games, so like the fastest man alive versus the fastest brain alive or something like that. But in terms of the tone this season, they said they're sort of going to get back to their roots of Season 1 and 2. I believe this is what Grant Gustin had to say about the matter. He said he's going to get to enjoy his powers powers. The team is going to be able to move on. Everyone's going to be able to move on as a whole. And overall, just for everyone, it's a little bit more fun. Now, I don't mind this, but I also do like darkness in TV shows. So I did like season 1 and 2. I know exactly what they mean where they say they're going back to their roots, a little bit more lightheartedness, a little bit less dark Savitar arc in season 3. That's cool. But I don't want it to be like that for the next 2 seasons, if you know what I mean. I still love the emotional parts of the past 3 seasons. I mean, I know we're talking about 1 and 2 here being slightly lighter hearted, but season 3 wasn't necessarily very bad just because it was dark. It was bad in the sense for some people because of the plot holes that it had. Now, talking about this, there's been this sort of kind of rumor going around that everyone is saying that speedsters won't be a thing sort of anymore in the Flash TV show. Now, I completely disagree with this as a whole. I think it's been misinterpreted, but I'll read out what people are getting this from. Now, according to the shows, I'm going to have to read this. Television Critics Association press event panel. This guy called Kevin Yeoman, I don't know if that's how you say his name. He basically stated that The Flash is likely done with speedster villains. He goes on to say that season 4 will find the lightness that was in the first 2 seasons. Now, I want to say that bit again because this is the bit I feel like people are forgetting. He says season 4, and I would write that in capitals, being the point. Season 4 will find the lightness that was in the first 2 seasons. Now, people are saying, okay, no more speedster villains in the TV show. Now, I disagree, because I get what they mean. Like, it's been Speedster Villain Reverse Flash in Season 1. It's been Zoom in Season 2. It's been Savitar, a.k.a. Barry Allen, in Season 3 as his own enemy. And now in Season 4, they don't want to do the Speedster Villain. And it makes sense. I completely agree. It's going to be amazing having a non-Speedster Villain. But this doesn't mean that they're not going to do another Speedster Villain in Season 5. Or I wouldn't surprise me if they didn't, but in Season 6. And this isn't even to say about those 1 or 2 episode storylines where the Reverse Flash might come back, or maybe even Teddy Sears as Zoom might come back as a weird timeline thing that is sort of resolved within an episode, or Barry might go. I don't know, but I got a feeling obviously we're going to see the Reverse Flash this season again. He always makes an appearance somehow. But in terms of overall grand, season villains, I think, yes, for season 4, we're not going to get a Flash, a speedster villain. But I wouldn't rule that out for the future at all. I can't imagine. I think people will get annoyed that if we have a non-speedster villain this season and then another season, then they say for season 7 that there is no speedster villain. Again, people would be like, but I kind of wanted to see this person or another speedster villain. People will get kind of annoyed then. I know I would. But let me know, do you think people are taking this statement out of context, that it is just about season 4 they're talking about, and it might be another season, or like season 5, season 6, that we'll get another speedster villain? Or do you think we actually might not get another speedster villain until possibly when the show ends? I mean, that, for me, I don't really believe that. Now, we've also got a first look at another weekly villain, or one of the first of Season 4, which is really cool. She is reportedly going to appear in Episode 3 of Season 4, called Luck Me a Lady. Now, all credits of these photos go to yvrshoots.com, or also known as Hollywood North Buzz. Please go to the links in the description to go to their Twitter pages. I didn't take these photos myself. They're awesome for taking them. All credit goes to them, guys. Go visit that if you want to see the pictures for yourself, or to browse some other show pictures, or maybe there might be even some more Flash pictures up by the time this video is published. Now, from these pictures, they don't seem to have changed the costume design at all from the comic book character known as Hazard. Now, the villain's real name is Becky Sharp, and she has appeared throughout the comics as a member of the Injustice Society, but she also has psionic powers which actually allow her to make good or bad accidents happen to her enemies. Now, this could all appear differently on the TV show, but I've got a feeling it will play out in, the sort of the bad accidents, if you will, happening to people like the Flash or Viable Kid Flash. Just judging by the dice as well that are on her that is on her costume. Also in the comic books, it's very accurate. This is what I love about the Flash. The comic book costumes, just like Hazard's, is very accurate to what she actually looks like in the comic books. I can imagine with the dice, that kind of decides whether it's a good or a bad accident that will befall one of the members of Team Flash in the latest season. But either way, to me, this looks like a weekly villain. Let me know what you think of Hazard's, costume or the way she looks compared to the comic books that you may have read with her in it. But also here, guys, Hollywood North Buzz got some cool images of the Flash's new 2024 suit, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, we've all been calling it the 2024 suit, but we actually don't know how he gets it in current day. But either way, you've probably seen this photo before, but I just wanted to show it again to to all those who haven't seen it or just want a better look at what it looks like, I personally think that the design is really impressive. It is very comic book accurate, and to be honest, I've really wanted the lightning bolt, well, just more gold on the suit in general. It's a shame we didn't quite get the gold boots. I'm hoping in a future season, maybe they didn't want to go full gold. I kind of get how that might look a bit weird in real life or on the TV show. Just having a whole gold boot might not look as cool as it does in the comic books, but they could add a bit more gold to the boots, I think, personally. But let me know what you think of these pictures in the comments section down below. And the last photo from Hollywood North Buzz, guys, is a picture of Harrison Wells. But which Harrison Wells is it? We've also got some other camera shots here of Harrison Wells with Cisco using a device. Now, this is from the Real Arizona Jake on Twitter. I'll leave his Twitter link in the description below. But either way, this Harrison Wells doesn't look like Earth to Harry. I mean, it could be. It's really hard to tell with all these Harrison Wells popping up all of the time. But let me know what you think and who you think this Harrison Wells is in the comment section down below. And lastly, guys, I just want to end this video off on something really cool that I saw. Now, this comes from Boss Logic, and it is a poster or a fan-made poster of The Flash Season 4. And I just think it is so perfect with just everything that we've got to look forward to with this upcoming season. Now, of course, I will leave a link to Boss Logic's Instagram and Twitter down below. Check him out. He does so many cool edits of just everything like this. But as you see here, we basically see the Flash on a bunch of strings like a puppet, and that hand is none other than the Thinker's hand. As you see as well, the title is The Flash, the Fastest Mind versus the Fastest Man. Now, I think this is brilliant. I just wanted to show you guys and give props to Boss Logic. It's a really cool poster. It would be really cool if like the CW actually used something like this for the actual poster of Season 4. It's really appropriate, it's really awesome, and I think this might be the way it goes down in Season 4 as well, with the Thinker using his incredible intellect and powers to basically pull the strings of the Flash like he was an actual puppet. But apart from that, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this Flash News Roundup video, if you will. I really enjoyed making it. If you did actually enjoy it, please leave a like on this video, as it really does show your support for the channel. And if you are new to this channel, maybe even consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things new just like this. And don't forget, if you want to stay a bit more up to date with me personally, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything else. The links are in the description below, guys. But apart from that, everybody, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.